Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Sunday hot takes for the Championship. A little bit later than normal. I was back very late last night, but not too late to get into the Championship action today. And we've got to start with Sunderland. Super Sunderland, top of the league, 3 wins out of 3, no goals conceded. What a start for Reggie Lebris. Watford fans, chill. We'll talk about you in a minute in the most honourable mention you can get. But it's a big statement victory from Sunderland yesterday on the basis of who they beat and how they did it. Okay, first couple of games for Sunderland. They went to Cardiff, got the win, and you kind of take notice. Big win against Sheffield Wednesday, and you're really taking notice. But given how Burnley have smashed their first 2 games and they're a U1 parachute team with all the advantages that brings, I think for Sunderland to be winning this game and to limit Burnley to 0.13 XG to basically shut them down and win this game in such a way. Terribly, terribly impressive start by Reggie Lebris. We're going to be saying the same things for a while this continues, as in young team, and he's got them gelling straight away. Yes, we get the normal people who want to shut down conversations in August because it's, quote, too early in the season. But we can only go on the information we've got so far. And the information tells us that Reggie Lebris at Sunderland is perfect. And I have to say, as a neutral covering the Championship, it's quite exciting to have a winning Sunderland team and all that brings in terms of that feel-good and that fan base up in the North East. Look, there's a long way to go and a lot of things to prove. Obviously, Jack Clark has just gone out, but really, are they missing him? Amazing start for Sunderland. A start for Reggie Lebris. We'll see where he can take this in the coming weeks. I mean, you can only come down from 3 straight wins to begin with, can't you? But it could be the basis for a really fun season. And we all know getting out the blocks, getting up to 20 points nice and quickly if you can, and being, in with the leaders there, you never know where it can take you in the Championship. Well done, Super Sunderland. And from Super Sunderland to mega volleys, because we had 3 incredible volleys yesterday in the Championship with the ball flying into the back of the net. And Watford fans, you can relax now because I'm going to mention you. Incredible 3rd win from 3 for Watford as well. And, 9 points is 9 points. We majored on Sunderland a little bit, I guess, because of the completely brand new manager. You can say Tom Cleverley's the new manager. And I just think the scale of the opponent and the 0 goals conceded. But Watford are bang level and they beat Darby yesterday. And Vakun Bayo scored a brilliant right-footed scissor volley as Tom Cleverley, frankly, continues to just prove everybody wrong, predicting chaos at Watford. He's made a brilliant start. Long may it continue for the Hornets fans. Tanner, Bristol City versus Coventry as well. George Tanner, where did that come from? Cleared ball, slams it in on the volley from the edge of the box. And 2 teams, Bristol City and Coventry, where you're kind of looking at and thinking, they're mobilising, aren't they? They both look nice and solid. It's not really a surprise that they've shared the points in this one. They're probably both happy to move on. And I mean, look, Coventry, especially, most people are thinking, that looks like a playoff squad, doesn't it? With a hugely experienced manager, a bit of depth now as well, and a lot of nous. Bristol City, I think, are now crystallising after a good start, really. They're undefeated. They could have beaten Hull, couldn't they? There was a late equaliser in that game as well. They're mobilising as a playoff outsider, but definitely looking like a top half side. And finally, Mark Harris of Oxford. Pick that one out. We'll judge Worldie of the Week with Sam on the Championship check-in on Tuesday, but it's going to be one of those 3 incredible goals. Oxford aren't the story, though. Ruthless Oxford, I keep calling them. What about brilliant Blackburn and brilliant John Eustace? He knows how to get out of the blocks after a pre-season. He did it with Birmingham. This, in spite of Smodics going out, the star man, the top scorer, leaving. But Blackburn are also undefeated. What a brilliant start. They beat Oxford. Yes, again, they've had a couple of promoted teams, but given the expectation for Blackburn pre-season, this is tremendous work by John Eustace, and you've got to love all the volleys. Jolly good fellows. One of my worst puns, but hey, you know they're terrible down there, don't you? Blame a guy called Christian from when I was at ITV. He knows who he is, the pun king, or the pun dad joker. But what about West Brom and Carlos Corberán? He's just a brilliant manager, isn't he? Every year we think, oh, West Brom are going to be slightly less powerful, you know. And even this summer, there's kind of talks of like soft embargoes and hadn't quite sorted the money out, and maybe Mr. Patel, the new owner, wasn't, you know, kind of pushing as hard as they needed to. And certainly the idea that they're still paying for the crimes of the past. And yet here they are, 7 points. And I think what I'm loving about West Brom is they've actually got the top scorer in the league. Josh Madger, okay, that's completely padded by a hat-trick on opening day, and he scores again yesterday in a victory against Stoke. Tom Fellows, though, wow, down that wing. I don't know what to say, because people define breakthrough season in different ways, don't they? And there's an argument that Tom Fellows broke through last season. My definition of breakthrough is when someone breaks through to become a key player in their team or in this division. And I wonder, he set up both the goals, beautiful little clipped cross and then a cutback for Madger, the two hot hands combining there. I wonder if a type of breakthrough season where Tom Fellows is notching up these goal contributions and having giant impact at West Brom, who are just doing it again. They're up in fourth. They have their own little ecosystem in the playoffs last year. They're going to do it again. Jolly good fellows and brutal baggies indeed. Bloomin Heck. That one's even worse, isn't it? We're talking about Paul Heckingbottom, who I actually didn't get to speak about in the hubbub of midweek last week. I'll get Sam's take on the check-in podcast on Heckingbottom, because he's an interesting one. You know, he could work at Barnsley and, you know, in and out, shake it all about and gone before he'd blink a cup of coffee at Leeds. He went up to Hibs, didn't he? And then kind of in at Sheffield United, and there was a bit of a sense, you know, succession planning, and he just got the job because he was there. Maybe that's unfair. He did a really good job to get Blades promoted, but then everyone says, okay, yeah, parachute payments should get them up. All those things are true. Kind of difficult to judge. If Paul Heckingbottom is a really good manager, which some people argue he is, I'm kind of in the don't really know. We're definitely about to find out at Preston, and what a start for Preston against Luton. Yes, it's a bit smash and grabby. What have I got here? Yeah, 0.26 XG, plays 1.64, and Luton had 17 shots. Preston fans are not going to give a flying hoot about that, are they? They're just going to be so happy with a great win at home against a Year 1 parachute team. Yes, Newcastle, yes, debut for Heckingbottom. What a win, though. That's tremendous work, isn't it? And Preston off the mark, and by God, they needed it after, you know, Ryan Lowe departing after one game, and then Mike Marsh doing the caretaker thing and walking out like before he even did the pressers after the second game. So great start for Heckingbottom, and I'm pleading the fifth for now. I like the bloke, but I'm going to tell you a hell of a lot more about whether he's a really good Championship manager, which we think he might be, as he gets his feet under the table here at Preston. But what a start. Finally, draws galore in the Championship. There was 5. We've already touched on Bristol City 1, Coventry 1, and that Tanner volley, and where kind of they lay in the hierarchy. Hull 0, Millwall 0. Sorry, Tigers and Lions fans. There you go. The African Plains Lion King Derby, we'll call it. But, yeah, 0-0. Norwich 1, Sheffield United 1. Is that going to be both sides happy to take a point on that one, with Norwich kind of mobilising? New players coming in. Some exciting stuff at Norwich with these kind of athletic young European players all seemingly arriving. Lovely assist, actually, by Forson for Sargent in that game. And Sheffield United, again, building a new team. I'm watching the highlights, just prepping for this, and it was like Raksaki coming in after. Oh yeah, they signed Raksaki as well, didn't they? And O'Hare and Moore and Burrows, and you know, there's lots of people come in, and Brooks and Arblaster scored again, didn't he? So integrating them with youngsters, I think, given you think about Norwich and Sheffield United, you think about most powerful Championship teams. Take a point, move on. Borough 2, Pompey 2. Pompey will certainly take a point. And I've got to doff my cap to Pompey, who are undefeated from games away at Leeds, at home to Luton, and away at Middlesbrough. Fair play. They've had a horrible start, Pompey, fixture-wise. They're hung in there, I've got to say, talking about smash and grabby. Borough, 50 shots in the last 2 games. They topped the Championship for the most XG created. By the way, for those 50 shots, though, 1 point scored by Borough because they lost at Derby and they drew against Pompey. Pompey taking their chances. Horrible mix-up for one of the goals as well. And Borough are looking very much like a hapless outlier number team that makes tons and tons of chances but aren't winning games. We know how that works. Either it will come around, they'll keep making the chances will start going in, they'll go on a winning run, or it's going to regress the other way and they're going to stop making so many chances. I know what the Borough fans are hoping, that this writes, but it's got to be frustrating, 50 shots in 2 games and 1 point. But fair play Pompey for getting through those first 3 games without losing. Proper baptism of fire. Speaking of baptisms of fire, Wayne Rooney had one at Plymouth, didn't he, in the opening game, losing 4-0 at Sheffield Wednesday. They drew 1-1 at QPR yesterday, and again, it's very smashy and grabby, but the Plymouth fans are not going to give, again, a flying hoot. They went behind on 3. Morgan Whittaker scored the Morgan Whittaker goal where he comes in off the right and smashes it in left-footed. But, yeah, another 30 shots in this one. Plymouth 1 shot on target with 0.14 XG. They've got out of dodge there, Wazza, with a point from that one. QPR fans are going to be so annoyed they have not won that game. There we go. Speaking of annoyed, are you an annoyed Leeds fan? We haven't spoken about you. The reason for that is that we did the watch-along on Friday night, so loads of coverage on Leeds win at Sheffield Wednesday on Friday. Are you an annoyed fan of Welsh football? It's 12:28 as I'm rounding up this video right now. The South Wales derby has not occurred yet. It's happening at 3 p.m, Swansea versus Cardiff. We will talk about that on a Tuesday Championship check-in. Sam Parkin is with his family tomorrow for bank holiday. 1 p.m. Tuesday on the Championship check-in, where we can flesh things out a little bit more. If you're a surly Watford fan who wants as much credit as the Sunderland fans have got today, you're going to get it on Tuesday. You want to know Worldie of the Week? We'll stick a poll out. Any of those beautiful, beautiful volleyed goals, and we can elaborate on what's happened in Wales. I don't know what's happened in Wales yet because game hasn't happened. We talk a bit more about Leeds as well. Are they back? Those are your hot takes today. And I implore you, were you at an EFL Championship game yesterday? If you were, please, ahead of the check-in, get in the comments, smarten me and Sam up. We'll read them. Give us your take on what you saw yesterday. Those are your hot takes. And again, Tuesday, we'll see you for the Championship check-in.